Hello, good evening. How you guys doing? I hope you guys mentally and physically good and fit. And I'm recording this in Canada. And so today's topic is how you stop from pulling yourself to negativity. This happens when you're trying to think positively, try to do something maybe new, something challenging, and then at the same time the back of your head says, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, you can't do that, it's not worth it, or what else, all those negative, nagging feeling, or the fear, you can't do that, you will fail, you shouldn't be trying, waste of time, waste of money. All those negativity is just mumbling in your head, and you want to get rid of them, but it kept coming. And when you understand why it does that, it really helps you to enhance your positivity. Okay, so the reason why you keep hearing is that you've been in this negativity loop for a long time, especially when you are a child growing up in a negative environment. Say parents, you can't do that, or we don't have money for that, you're not worth it, or that's for somebody else, we are not that wealthy, or any sort of negativity loop. And you start to believe because as a child, your view is very limited, and you usually see the world through caregivers or parents' eyes, right? Until you get to the adults where you start to see total different things, right? To discovery, or maybe earlier in teens. Anyways, so that you spend a lot of time in a negativity ways of thinking, and you get accustomed to it. Then you start to think to yourself, I want to be a positive, I want to live the best version of myself. And you start to go from negative to positive direction, and you face this resistance. You do the positive thinking, but as soon as you do that, maybe you will pull back to the negativity. It's like you put the one step forward and a two step back into the negativity, and you do that, those steps forward and then maybe two step back, and it seems like you're standing still. So anything so that you as a human, or we are a human, we are so accustomed to, we are the creature of the habit. So because we are so used to thinking in one way, that's where you feel comfortable, even though that's not good for you, like negative thinking, but still you feel accustomed to it, you feel familiar with it. It doesn't matter whether that's good or bad for you, it just feels so comfortable, right? So in order to get out of your comfort zone, when you push out of your comfort zone, what do you feel? The resistance, the fear, unknown, uncertainty, and you want to go back to where you were, where you feel comfortable and cozy, right? Even though that's not good for you, but you still have that feeling attached to it, and you're so accustomed to it, and it's easy for you too. When you try to push your comfort zone into the new world, new reality, new ways of thinking, it has that resistance. So it gives you a little the negativity words in your head, you shouldn't do that, or so when it comes up, you attack it, and when it comes up, you attack it a little bit at a time. And it's normal to have negative and a positive at the same time inside of you. It's like this world has up and down, left and right, dark and light. So you have those positive, negative inside of you. That's normal, right? But you just wanted to focus more towards the positive ways, right? Thinking. And so that when you have that little negativity voice, you just recognize it, right? That's the number one. That's why you feel resistance. And that's a good sign, because when you are in deep in this comfort zone of negativity, you don't even have this resistance. So it's good that you have that nagging, voice inside of you. You're at the borderline. So when it comes up, you accept, that's a part of your negativity, but you want to push forward. You want to move on. So it's like you're looking out, the positive world through the window. So your eyes, maybe your head is out, of this box of negativity, but the rest of the body is still inside of the box. And there will be a time where you break that box and you come out fully to the positive side. It will happen. But you just need to accept those negative, voice exist, and that's fine. But you chose to be positive. For instance, that easy example, okay, it's really cold out. You decided to go for run or for walk, and it's so windy and it's just not a good weather. And you instantly think, oh my God, it's terrible outside, it's so cold. Also, you could say it's a fresh air, so that you shift. You don't ignore what you come up with first impression. It's so cold. You cannot ignore that. That's the fact, and you don't feel good, right? That as a humans, you don't enjoy the cold, miserable weather. But you could say, oh, this is a fresh air, which is true, right? Or you about to go out to see friend and you found your bag broke. And you go, shoot, I'm pressed for time and I love this bag. But at the same time, you think to yourself, like, I'm so glad it happened here. What if it happened on the go and maybe inside of the bag it fell off and everywhere and it just start, damaging, or maybe something broke. So you think the other way as well, very instantly. And when you keep doing that, your brain will start to see the positive side of it, and it gets growing, and it will dominate your thinking pattern, right? So instead of thinking negative all the time, you think more of the positive. And when you train that way, you start to feel accustomed to it. So it is just a little bit of the habit change. Anything that even the thought process is a habit. It's just you've been doing that for years and years. So it might take a little bit, but it's not going to take years and years to shift because you're consciously aware. So this is your habit, and you just change the habit, the creature of habit, and you just change the habit, and the humans have this ability to accustom to the habit, right? So that's why when it pops up, you recognize that's the number one, and you replace it with something else. So this affirmation that think up really helps to automatically kind of shift. It's almost like a tricking your brain to see the different part of you, like to think or feel how you feel about yourself. So I really recommend to use it. Luckily, this is in English, so you can record your own voice, and you can pick your own liking of the affirmation. You can, come up with something, or you quote, you love this quote from somebody else, and it really fit you or resonate with you, and you use that, and you could record with your own voice. And when I learned this app, I was skeptical at first, but it really helps. Just give it a try, and if you really like it, you could start using it too. Anyway, even though you don't use this app, you just keep telling a different side of the story, different side of the aspects of, the things that you're facing. So that's the training of the change in the habit of thinking. and you get accustomed to it, and it will change. And then the timing is another thing, that people will do things in their best timing. So even though this kind of thing is not resonate with you, that's totally fine, because you have your own timeline to learn so many things that, not everything will resonate with you. But if you do, that's the time that you really need it. So do it, right? So that's when you have access to your core energy. That's, like you're telling yourself that that's the time, you want to adapt that new habit, or adapt this new action, or, do something new, and in your heart. So you start to get sharpened with those intuition and the gut feeling, or you call it higher self, which is yourself telling you, that's the best timing now. So even though you don't think, this doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. It's like when you read a book again a year later, all of a sudden, oh my God, I didn't know this part was in the book. Or when you watch the movie a year later, like you feel totally different, because you've been growing, right, all this time. And you yesterday and you today is totally different person. So that's why you feel the different, when you read the same book a year from now, or the movie, right? Because of your growing constantly. So you could always change your habit, and you will get accustomed to that. And then it's just a little training you could do. Okay, so hope this helps, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.